In the heart of a great land of Umuofia, surrounded by lush forests and flowing rivers, there lay a kingdom ruled by King Obiora. The people of Umuofia loved their king, for he was just and wise, leading with a gentle hand and a heart full of compassion. King Obiora had a daughter, Princess Adaugo, who was the joy of his life. Princess Adaugo, whose name meant daughter of an eagle, was as grateful and strong as the bird she was named after. With her luminous eyes and kind spirit, she was beloved by all who met her. She grew up in the grand palace, with its tall pillars and spacious garden, where she would often lose herself in books and stories of distant lands. In Umuofia, there was an ancient custom that the only daughter of the king should not marry, to remain in the palace to bear children from different men. This was meant to ensure a pure loyal lineage with the stability of the kingdom. King Obiora had always struggled with this tradition. He loved his daughter dearly and wanted her to find happiness in her own way. Yet as a ruler of Umuofia, he also felt the weight of upholding the custom that had governed their people for generations. One evening, as the sun set and cast a golden glow over the palace, King Obiora and Adaugo walked together in the garden. The king looked at his daughter. Her face bathed in warm light and his heart ached. "Father," Adaugo began softly, sensing his unease. "Why do you look so worried?" "My dear Adaugo," King Obiora replied, placing a gentle hand on her shoulder. "There are times when a king must make decisions that weigh heavy on his heart. The tradition of our land have kept us strong, but I fear they may also bind us too tightly." Adaugo looked into her father's eyes, understanding the depth of his concern. "I know the tradition well, father, but I believe there is more to life than following old custom. I want to explore the world, learn new things, and discover my own path." King Obiora sighed, wishing he could protect her from the expectation placed upon her. "I want nothing more than your happiness, my daughter. Perhaps by learning from the world beyond, we can find a way to balance our heritage with your dreams." Adaugo set out to a distant land, a place where the sun rose over towering buildings and air bustled with the energy of people from all walks of life. This land, known to the people of Umuofia as the land of white people, was full of opportunities and new experiences. Adaugo enrolled in a prestigious school where she immersed herself in her studies and met students from many different cultures. She found joy in learning about the world and its diverse ways of living. Among her new friends was a young man named Okechi, who had come from a neighboring village to study medicine. Okechi was gentle and thoughtful, always ready with a kind word or a helping hand. He and Adaugo quietly became friends, bonding over their shared love for their homeland and their dreams for the future. They would spend hours talking about their culture, their families, and their hopes. One day, as they walked along the river bank near their school, Okechi turned to Adaugo with a question that had been in his mind. "Adaugo, do you ever miss Umuofia?" he asked softly. Adaugo paused, looking out over the water at it sparkling in the sunlight. "I do," she admitted. "I miss my father and the familiar sights and sounds of home, but I also love the freedom I've found here, the chance to explore and grow in ways I never imagined." Okechi smiled, understanding her perfectly. "I feel the same way. This place has given us so much, yet our hearts remain tied to our roots." As he walked on, their hands brushed against each other together, and they felt a connection deeper than friendship beginning to form. Love blossomed quietly between them like a delicate flower. Months passed, and Adaugo and Okechi love grew stronger. They supported each other through their studies, shared countless adventures, and dreamed of a future together. But always at the back of Adaugo's mind was the knowledge of the tradition she was expected to follow. One evening, as they sat together under a starry sky, Adaugo stopped stone still. "Okechi, there's something I need to tell you," she said. Her voice trembled slightly. "What is it, Adaugo?" Okechi asked. Adaugo took a deep breath, gathering her courage. "In Umuofia, there is a tradition for the only daughter of the king. I'm not supposed to marry. Instead, I'm expected to stay in the palace and have children with different men to keep the royal bloodline strong." Okechi's face fell, and he took her hands in his. That's a heavy burden to bear, he says quietly. The traditions can be changed. We can find a way to work together. Adaugo. Adaugo felt tears welling in her eyes. I feel you, Okechi, but I don't know how to break free from these expectations without causing pain to my father and our people. Okechi put his hands, his voice filled with determination. We will face this together. Love is stronger than any tradition, and together we can find a way to change what needs to be changed. The decision to write to her father weighed heavy on Adaugo's heart. She knew she had to share her feelings with him, with fear of how he would react. With Okechi by her side, she sat down and wrote a letter pouring out her love for him and her desire to marry Okechi. Dearest father, I hope this letter finds you well. I have so much to tell you about my life here and a wonderful thing I have learned. There is one thing that weighs heavy in my heart, and I must share it with you. I have fallen in love, father. His name is Okechi, and he is kind and caring with a heart as gentle as yours. We have dreamt of a future together, but I know our dreams are clouded by the traditions of our land. Please, father, understand that I love Okechi deeply. I want to marry him and build a life together. I know this goes against what is expected of me, but I believe that our love can bring a new light to Umuofia. I waited your blessing with him in my heart, your lovely daughter Adaugo. She sealed the letter and sent it on its way, praying that her father would understand. King Obiora struggled when King Obiora received Adaugo's letter. He read it over and over, his heart heavy with emotion. He loved his daughter more than anything, and her happiness was paramount to him. Yet he also understood the importance of tradition and stability it brought to their kingdom. The king called a meeting with his council of elders, men who had served the kingdom with wisdom and loyalty for many years. As they gathered in the great hall, King Obiora shared Adaugo's letter and his deep conflict. My friends, he began, his voice filled with sorrow. My daughter has found love in a distant land. She wishes to marry, but our tradition forbids it. How can we honor both her happiness and the custom that have guided us for generations? The elders listened carefully, their faces serious and contemplative. The eldest among them, Chief Nkem, spoke first. Her Majesty, tradition are foundations of our society. They have kept us strong and united, but we must also consider the changing times and the desire of our people. Another elder, Chief Eze, nodded in agreement. Adaugo is beloved by all. Her happiness is important to us. Perhaps it is time to re-evaluate the tradition that bind us and consider a new path forward. The council discussed the matter later into the night, weighing the importance of their custom against the future they wished to build. In the end, they reached a consensus. The time had come for change. The tradition of the king's daughter must evolve to reflect the love and wisdom that had led their kingdom into a brighter future. King Obiora wrote back to Adaugo, his words filled with love and hope. My dearest daughter, your letter has moved me deeply. I understand your love for Okechi and your desire to build a life together. You have my blessings. My dear daughter, your happiness means more to me than any tradition. The council and I decided to change our ways. From now on, Okechi will be determined by wisdom, courage, and the will to serve our people, not by blood alone. You have shown us the way forward, and we are proud of you. Return home, my child, and bring Okechi with you. We will celebrate your love and the beginning of a new era for Umuofia. With all my love, your father, Joyful. Homecoming, Adaugo and Okechi return to Umuofia with a great celebration unlike the kingdom has seen before.